All right, here we are, our 2014 Cobalt 24 Sport Deck, or 24 SD. We're here near the beautiful freshwaters of Norris Lake, Tennessee. This boat has been on Norris Lake since it was new. And important detail here, the trailer that this one is currently on is not included, nor is it available to be purchased with this boat. This is a service trailer and is not available to be purchased. Now, if you do need a trailer, feel free to reach out to us. We'll be happy to point you in the right direction on where you can purchase a new trailer for this one. But there is no used trailer available to be sold with it. Now, also reminder for you to visit our website for the full list of specifications, features, and options, as well as the current asking price. Now, for your convenience, we will have a direct link to this listing down in the video description. So where you're watching this video at right now, you'll be able to scroll down at any point now or after the video tour is over. You're going to see that direct link that's going to take you over to our website. That's there for your convenience, so you can either click on that link or copy and paste that into a new tab or web browser. When you do make it over to our photo slideshow page, you're going to see a lot of the particulars on the boat, along with the current asking price, as well as all of our contact information on the left hand side of that page. There'll be another link on the left hand side for a printable PDF spec sheet. That printable PDF spec sheets, we're going to be the full list of all the options and features. And so if you're really wanting to get down into the full list on this one, look for that printable PDF spec sheet. And then we do like to remind you, we do not monitor the YouTube comment page. So if you've got any questions about this one, if you would like to set up a time to come view this in person or submit an offer or anything like that, you do want to use that link to get over to our website. And again, you'll be able to reach out to us by phone, by text, or by email. We do like to remind you, if you call us on the phone and you get our voicemail, keep in mind we are very frequently in areas without cell phone reception, which is, I'm in exactly in one of those areas right now while we're taking this video, or shooting this video tour right now. So keep in mind, if you get our voicemail and you do want to return phone call, we will not know that you called unless you leave us a message. If you leave us a detailed message, let us know which listing you're looking at, what questions you have. As soon as we return to cell service area, or if, as soon as we finish up with a client, we will return that call and answer all those questions for you. And also, you can send us an email or a text. Keep in mind, if it's been one business day you have not received an email reply, check your spam folder. So again, this is the 2014 Cobalt 24 SD. There's that 24 SD right there. Of course, we're missing the S on that logo, but the SD does stand for Sport Deck. This is a 24 feet 6-inch length overall. That's including the swim platform back here. It's an 8.5 foot beam. And we've got, let's see, we've got a dry weight of 4,800 pounds. That is for the boat only, without any fuel, water, or gear on board. This one's rated for 13 people. And we've got a MerCruiser 377 mag multi-port fuel injected V8 inboard outboard stern drive engine with the Bravo 3 dual prop outdrive. That's what we got right here. And I believe that's rated at about 320 horsepower. You can also see we've got a fancy looking swim platform here. And this is the one of Cobalt's patented swim deck platforms. I forgot, we got a locking mechanism right there, and that's going to lift up right there. Okay, so that's whenever you're running the boat, you're going to have it up in this position, and as soon as anybody wants to hop in the water, you're going to pull that lever right there, and it's going to come right back down. And you want to be careful when you lay that down and you're sitting on the trailer, because your prop is there, can present an obstacle. Of course, that outdrive is trimmed up right now. When you're in the water, that's going to have a lot larger distance from there. But it's also a good reminder that you do not want to be in the water behind the boat anytime the engine is on, even if it's in neutral. So we're going to use this fancy little swim step to just simply step up onto the boat, and we're going to move along with our video walkthrough tour as usual. So Right here, as we stepped on, of course you probably already noticed, we've got two speakers back here on our swim deck. Those are Roswell speakers, and you got two little grab bars right here you can use also for climbing out of the water. We've got some LED courtesy lights back here on the platform as well, and then this is a removable ski tow bar right here, or ski tow pylon. That's going to pull right out of there whenever you're not using it, and simply drops right back in place. And of course you want to turn that until it quits turning, gets all the way tight. This is where your anchor light's going to go right there, and then we've got a large, kind of a versatile lounge seat right here. We've got this in the kind of the rear facing lounge position, and we've also got some storage right here. This is a self-draining storage compartment right there, so some of your water toys or tow ropes, something like that, can go in there. And then we've got a nice little walk-through transom here. A couple features right here on this transom before we head all the way through. So of course that is going to close that off there, but we've also got a stereo remote right here that's going to be accessible here from the platform. And then we've got an onboard battery charger. This is simply a where you can connect that onboard charger to power. That's simply a 110 extension cord right there. You can plug that up and keep those batteries charged and maintained so that it's ready to go as soon as you get back to the water. Then we've also got a small little freshwater pull-out transom shower. Got one of these up in the bow as well. There's a 10-gallon onboard freshwater tank, and I believe we've got about a 50-gallon fuel tank. Now we can close that so we can walk on through here. And of course we've also got a small little storage locker right here at your walk-through transom. Now I've got our covers in there. We've got a little bit of a storage netting right here that's there for your convenience, kind of make that a little bit easier to stow some items down in there. That's a cockpit cover and a bow snap-in cover down there stored right now. Fuel fills right here. There's one of 6 tie-up cleats. These are stainless steel cleats. And we got a handful of these. These are some quick release fender holders here. And those are actually quite handy. And what I like about that is not only is it a very quick option for dropping a fender there, but it also is not using your tie-up cleat. It's near your tie-up cleat, which whenever you're docking, you're going to be near that anyway to secure the boat once you are in your slip or dockside. But you know, your fender is going to be right there near that cleat without occupying your tie-up cleat. So you got plenty of room there to use that as needed. So climb on in. We've got snap-in carpeting. This one's rated for 13. Got a small little starboard side passenger seat right here. Now this has a couple functions. This side right here, we've got some items stowed in here. This is actually a small little ice chest. You've got your battery switch located right here, along with your engine hatch control, and then switches for your one switch for your water pump for your onboard freshwater system, and then an accessory switch right there. 2 cup holders right here. I believe we've got, I want to say 12 of those cup holders throughout. We'll give those a count here a little bit later. So this seat right here, you kind of saw you're in that rear facing lounge position right now. This is going to slide, or with my camera movement here, you can slide all the way back, and now you're kind of in a reverse lounge back position right there. And this will also have kind of a halfway point right about there, and that's kind of your standard forward facing position right there. But again, that is going to continue back for kind of more of a lounge position, forward facing and rear facing. Got a lot of storage under these seats. Cobalt's got nice heavy duty hinge hardware. You'll see that seat right there lifts right up on a hinge. You'll hear me talk about this in other models. I always like when there's a hinge there. Makes it easy for one hand. You can prop this open and reach down with the other hand. Nice deep storage down here. We've got a Cobalt flag, and this is a full mooring cover down here as well. Fire extinguisher is also mounted right here, and that is properly secured. We've got a similar reversible seat back for your passenger seat right here. You're in that rear-facing position right now. This will simply slide the other way for your forward position, and then it's got access to also an additional self-draining cooler option right there as well. As you can see, it can be used for other items. Nice swivel captain seat right here. That's going to swivel, that's going to slide forward, slide back, and then we've got the popular flip-up bolster feature right here. That's going to slide right up, and that's going to give you a better view over top of that your driver's helm right there when needed, or when you've got a full capacity boat and you've got passengers up there in front of it. Tilt steering wheel, another stereo remote access right here, and then you've got some nice integrated switch controls here. We have function tested. You have a functional blower, you have a functional bilge pump, we've got some LED interior lights, we've got some LED docking lights, we've got a functioning horn. Now this captain's call switch here is empty. This one is not equipped with the captain's call. They use the same dash panel here for all their models. That's optional equipment this boat does not have. Swim platform lights are equipped. Here's your anchor light, here's your navigation lights. We've function tested that. And then the accessory switch is open for other accessories that might be installed aftermarket at a later date. Controls up here at our dash. We've got an kind of a split screen or a dual function gauge here. You got fuel gauge and engine temp. And then over here on the far starboard side, you've also got a dual function. This is going to be engine oil pressure along with your drive trim. And then two multi-function displays integrated in with your center gauges. This is going to be your speedometer readout. This is going to be your RPM or your tachometer. And then we've got a lot of functions here with each of these center displays right here. Engine hours are going to be displayed. Your depth finder along with air and water temp is going to be a display option right here. Let's see if I get that camera angle right. So there's your depth finder. That would be your air temperature, your water temperature. That's going to be your compass heading. That's telling you what direction you're heading. There's your engine hours. This one has 201.0 engine hours. And this right here is your tachometer. And here's your speed, digital speed readout. Engine oil pressure, engine temperature. There's your battery volts. Here, now this is your fuel level along with your fuel consumption rate. Now it just says 0 right here. I hope that camera is at the right angle. Right now it's reading 0.0 GPH. That GPH is gallons per hour. I love any boat with this feature, because sometimes just a little bit of RPM adjustment can make a large change to your fuel economy or your fuel usage rate. So I really enjoy having that gauge right there, and that gauge or that reading is available on both sides here. So you know, there's gonna be some personal preference here, but if this is me, I'm probably gonna have that gallon per hour pulled up on one of these two displays, and then maybe a depth finder on the other one, but it all kind of depends on the water that you're in and your familiarity with it. So that's a digital drive trim position as opposed to your gauge over here, and then we're back to the depth finder. This side over here is going to have all the same except for the depth finder reading, I do believe. We'll flip through that here as well. There's engine hours, and then yeah, I think that we've gone all the way through. So that goes all the way through. I'll take that right back to that fuel consumption rate right there. All right. Now, turning back over to the port side here, directly across from your driver's helm, we have an enclosed head compartment here. This is a integrated Porta-Potti with a pump out. So what that means is, you see those white hoses right there. Now one of those is a vent, and one is actually a pump out. You've got a pump out port up on the That'd be the port side bow corner. I'll show you that whenever we get up there. And that's simply where, if that porta-potty does get used, you can simply pull up to a marina that does have a pump out facility. They can hook their equipment up to it right there on the bow and remove the waste from your porta-potty. And so simply that is saving you the trouble of having to actually unhook that the base of that porta-potty there and actually take it to empty the waste storage in there. Down here in your head compartment, got adequate headroom down here. We've got an integrated exhaust fan. We've got an integrated light, and then this is an accessory switch again where you've got another option available, or something could be added at a later date. All right, climb right on out of there. Now, right next to your head compartment, you've got a nice little integrated cabinet here. This is for your stereo and you know, other media devices, phones, things of that nature. We've got a 12-volt power outlet right here. Okay, so that's where you can keep your phone or your music player charged. We've got a USB and auxiliary input for your stereo, and then you've got a stereo remote switch right here. So in this position, this is essentially turning on and off the other two stereo remotes. You've got one at your driver's seat. You've got one at the transom. Here in the middle, both of those stereo remotes are going to be activated. You can change that to where just your transom or just your driver stereo remotes are functioning with that. So and you kind of got some little integrated trays right here, and then we've got some other accessories that are stowed in here, but you've got a nice little area where you can have your different connections that you might need, your phone charger, and even being able to have your phone stored in here as well without having to worry about it being out in the elements. So here's your that stereo head unit here. This is a RockfordFosgate. This is an AM, FM, USB, auxiliary input, satellite ready, Bluetooth stereo. And again, you can control that here or at in the other stereo remotes. Actually, I've got the key turned off there, so that key's either got to be an accessory switch or in the on position. Now, we've got some upgraded RockfordFosgate equipment on board. We have 8 cockpit speakers and 1 subwoofer, as well as a stereo amp. So here's that subwoofer, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, there's 4, 5, 6 in the bow, and then if you remember, we got 2 more back here on the swim platform. So here is 7 and 8. Now we'll say when we function tested these, 2 of those 8 speakers were not functional, and that's right here on this port side. That's this port side rear speaker and this port side passenger speaker. Those were getting a little bit of feedback without good sound quality coming out of there. All the other speakers function tested just fine. Now we've got an in-floor ski storage locker right here, and this is where we've got some fenders lying in here. Nice deep storage down in there. I'm gonna pull one of those out just so I can remember to show you how those little quick release fender hooks work. This is some very deep storage. We got some water toys down in there, and you actually got a little non-skid pad down there as well that's gonna keep your equipment from getting scratched up. Now, before we walk through our bow area, I also want to show you we've got a little integrated that'd be a little wind block. Now that I haven't locked that in position, so you're going to push that forward and then it can lock in place on the side and in the floor. I just want to show you that that is integrated in. That's a nice feature. Anybody that's out boating at any time of the year when it's a little bit cooler, that could simply, it could be spring, fall, it could also be early morning or later evening, pretty much any time of year. So, all right, here in our bow area, we've got the removable lounge table in place. We've got some real nice bow seating here where you've got some fold down armrest. And this lounge table here, so you can see it here in our bow. This is a side mount. I'm gonna lift it out of the way. Okay, bear with the camera here. And I'm gonna put it in its other optional location. Bear with the shaky camera movement here. Okay, sometimes that's hard to do while you're holding the camera. So I've simply removed it from the bow area. I put it in its other mountable location, which is back here in the cockpit. So just so you can see what both of those areas look like. All right, now let's go on back up to the bow area here and finish what we started up here. So you do have these armrests that are going to fold down. Cobalt always uses some nice heavy-duty hardware on there. And then, of course, we've got storage under these seats as well. I like that this center cushion will remove. Well, there we go. It's got snapped in there so it does not fly away. But I think this is handy if you're anywhere where you like boarding on and off the front of the boat, and being able to get in and out without having to step on any vinyl seats is always a plus. Here's that waste pump out port right here. So again, that's for your Porta-Potti. That's going to allow you to empty that. And just under this hatch right here, this is that bow pull out shower. It's an anchor storage locker, and then also conceals our 3-step stainless steel swim boarding ladder. Got a nice cleat right here. That's for tying your anchor to whenever you are anchored out. And then underneath these little plates right here, that's going to be your LED docking lights. All right, stepping back down. Let me slide this filler cushion back in place. This right here actually raises up, and this is a nice touch. You've got dedicated storage for some of your accessories right here. You see right there on that wall, that's where your removable lounge table hardware is going to mount right there. And then you've got 2 slots right here for your for those removable lounge tables, and also a little bit of a dedicated storage from some other accessories. Having that there is going to keep that hatch a little bit more organized, keep things from sliding around, things like that. Here's that RockfordFosgate amplifier, stereo amplifier. There's a pair of amplifiers in here. It's going to be a 150 and a 400.4. So that's a 150. That's a dual 150, I believe. All right, now one other option up here is we've got, that is a starboard side filler cushion. Okay, so lower that back down. This is one of those LED courtesy lights. Okay, that starboard filler cushion can be removed there if you need some more leg room up there, if you like having that table in place up there, but maybe want some more room to get around that table. You can always pull this this filler cushion out, and if you're leaving that filler cushion out, it can go right down here in this slot right here. So again, you've got all of that integrated storage. It's really going to help you organize things and also be able to find things. Again, those armrests will just simply go right back down. It's kind of a wider bow area here. You've got a little bit of a pickle fork bow to this one with the sport deck model here. All right, heavy duty windshield hardware right here. That's going to be your catch for that walk-through windshield. And your Bimini top. Notice you do not have straps on this on the hardware for Cobalt with their Bimini top. You can make adjustments right here. You can see these screws right here. You can turn this to pull that Bimini tighter or looser. You've also got quick release hardware right here. This is simply sliding the button. Actually needs to take a little bit of tension off there. Slide this. Well, it's gonna make a lighter out of me. There you go. You slide that, hardware comes right off. Pops that right back into place. So, just like that right there. Again, that's all stainless hardware. This is some umbrella canvas top. Now, one area of wear we want to point out to you is right here. This has actually been patched. So you see these little kind of tears right there? There's actually a patch on the other side. We've got some photos of that. That patch is good. It's going to keep those from wearing and becoming larger. So let's show you these one of these quick release fenders right here. So I pointed out this hardware earlier. Fender simply hangs over the side, goes right in there, and it's mounted. You kind of heard a little bit of a pin there. It's locked in position. Whenever you're done with it, that's all it takes right there. Simply pushing that down, it's going to release right out of there. So and we've got, let's see, 1, 2, I think you got 4 areas for those. Let's double check that. Well, I'm glad I double checked that. We've got 2 of those. Those are going to be back here in the stern. This is going to be your mount points for those. Thought I saw more than that, but I guess not. I guess I was wrong. Now, one other area on your, actually here's a look at that little patch area. Okay, and then moving back, we got another patch right here in this corner, and that you can't really see because that's actually underneath that sleeve where that Bimini arm goes. But again, this also kind of been patched. I'm assuming that's very similar to that other area, and made some good efforts to keep those areas from getting any worse. So, all right, let's go ahead and raise this engine hatch. So again, lifting the seat right here, hitting our button. Again, 201 engine hours. And here is that MerCruiser 377 mag. That is a multi-port fuel injected V8 inboard outboard stern drive engine. Again, we got that dual prop Bravo 3 stern drive. And there's that Pro Mariner. It's a Pro Sport 20. That's a dual bank onboard marine battery charger. And this engine right here is rated at 320 prop horsepower. There's one of our dual batteries back in the port side corner. The other one's going to be in the back starboard side corner. And get back over here so I could get you a better view of this MerCruiser. Again, 377 mag, multi-port fuel injected. It's a 6.2 liter. And then we've got our, that's going to be our 10-gallon freshwater tank right there. And I believe just forward of that, you can't really see it in this compartment, it's going to be that 50-gallon fuel tank. All right, let me climb out of this position right here. We got some shadows in there. Let me bring that camera back in here just a little bit, get out of that that glare so you get a better view down there. All right, we'll go ahead and lower that down. So now is where we'll start going through the wear and tear that we've noticed on this one. We've pointed out a few things along the way. There at the Bimini top, canvas Bimini top, again that's umbrella canvas. And we're going to get up close and go over the whole sides here right quick before we wrap things up for today. And let's see, that appears to just be a stain right there. Okay, and then on the top side of this repositionable bow rest, we do have some staining in here where we've had some mildew on there. This can be pretty stubborn to remove. And this boat was waxed recently. There was still some wax residue on the hull sides, so I'm guessing they made a pretty good effort at cleaning that up, and that was as good as they could get it. Now some of the hardware on this repositional seat back probably needs to be adjusted a little bit. It's a little bit cumbersome right now, but you can get it in the position you are wanting to get it in. And this is a removable flagpole right here that this kind of locks in place, and it's got a little pin in here to unlock it. And There we go. I believe that is unlocked now, and we'll slide out of there. Possibly. I probably just need 2 hands on that. Yeah, it's one of those areas it's always kind of tough. Try and do one-handed, I'll leave that one where it is. Actually, I'll put it back down into that locked position. There you go. Okay. There were 2 spots in this seat right here where we actually did have a little bit of a puncture right there. And another one, make sure that's not a stain. It could very well be a stain. This one is not. You want to call your attention to those. Now over here by your removable ski tow pylon, we've got a little bit of wear right here and here, and then one right there. Okay, I always want to call those to your attention. And of course, also I think we pointed out earlier, we're missing that S in the 24 SD. So I believe that's it for the interior. Let me do one more quick walk through. Most all of the seats all seem to be in good condition, free of any rips or tears, and for the most part free of any staining, with the exception of the seat back here. That might be a small little stain right there. Oh, and actually that was just some dirt that came off. All right. Oh, cup holders. We mentioned those earlier. All right, we got 2, 4, we got 5, 6 over here at your driver's seat, 7, 8 behind your driver's seat, 9, 10, 11, and 12. I think that's what I said earlier, but I could be wrong. So let the record show there are 12 stainless cup holders. All right. Coming right back off of that swim platform. We got a good little ding right back here in this corner. A little bit of wear on this little piece right here as well. I think that's dirt, but you had 2 little scratches back here, and another scratch here, and a little bit over there. Okay, now I want to raise this swim step here, because we also had a pretty good low impact to that surface right there. Okay, now this dual prop, Bravo 3 dual prop Outdrive, your bellows are in really great shape. We'll should have service records on when these were last done, but these are nice and flexible. I'm not sure if you can see my fingers in there. That's exactly what you want to see. It's the newer style exhaust bellows right here. Essentially, the Outdrive is going to kind of fold right into that position right there, and whenever that drive is trimmed down. And you got one other bellows, a little bit harder to see, and again that one also has some nice flex to it as well. So with those bellows, that's what you want to see. You want to see some good flex on there. That means they are still nice and serviceable. When they start getting real stiff, that's when they're going to feel a little bit more brittle, and that's when you want to think about replacing those before they get actual hole in there. Stern drive looks to be in good shape. You know, apparently this one appears to have set with just part of that Outdrive down in the water. This, I believe, was lift stored, but probably just too heavy a boat to get that whole drive out of the water. All right, so let's go ahead and start walking around the exterior here. This is where we're going to kind of get up close and personal. Now, this side does appear to have some oxidation on it, and the other side also is going to have some oxidation. It appears as though most all your oxidation is at the back third of the boat. Okay, right in here is when you get up close to it, it's a little cloudy on there, as opposed to if I go down a few more feet, got a nice reflection on here. Okay, and that's just where that oxidation is. A little bit of a cloudy finish on that back kind of third. Now this side you got a little bit more oxidation going up longer. This may have been getting maybe the afternoon sun on this side of the boat, but it is more noticeable back here on this back third of the boat. But it does have a little bit of a cloudy finish to it going up on this starboard side. But now I want to back up so we can go up here a little bit slower pace to point out some of the dock rash on this one. Well, that one looked like something, but that was just some of that wax residue that did not come off. Got a small little scratch right in there, a few others along the way. Okay, moving on forward, a little mark just right under here. This is probably going to come off right here. This looks like it kind of transferred off of a fender maybe. Now this one is not. See how that's a little bit more of a defined white color? That is through that excuse me, is through the gel coat finish right there. Same thing here. These are a little bit too finer marks right here. Again, there was some wax residue on this, so my guess is that these are going to be here to stay. This one right here, I think a little bit more buffing, and these lines right here along with these are going to disappear. These all appear to have been transferred over from a fender. You kind of see, if you really get in there, I believe that's all going to come off. Okay, but this one right here, this is one of those, this guy's going to be here to stay. That one's not going anywhere. A little bit here, that one might be here to stay as well. Here's some of that wax residue right here. That all just came right off. Maybe a little bit of water spots down here on this accent stripe. And, oh, okay, I wasn't wrong. There are 4 of these. That was just over the side there, kind of hidden. That's going to be one of those other quick release fender mounts. So you've got 4 of those. Thought there were more than 2. Just could not see it from where I was. Again, this is one of those marks. I think that's going to come right off of there. A little bit of scrubbing, and that's going to disappear. That appears to be like a little bit of rubber transferred over from a fender. Again, this area right here, I think this one's here to stay. This one's a little bit more into the gel coat right there. And let me turn here. So this is kind of where that last of that oxidation kind of starts to fade out right here. So again, you do have some kind of right in this area. And then again, it's a lot more prevalent back here on that back third. These black hull sides can be really sharp, a nice kind of a classic styling, classic look that tends to stay in style for a while. But that black does need some wax on there at regular intervals to keep it from getting oxidized. You got a few marks up here on your rub rail. Okay, some dock marks here. It's a stainless steel rub rail insert. And then down here below the water line, I believe there were just some light scratches right in here, just some very light scratches in there. A few more of those on the other side. Now up here near our bow line, this is where we got some marks into that gel coat. You got some fiberglass showing up here in this corner, and a good little ding on this rub rail. There's another mark right here on your gel coat. It's kind of cracked. That was an impact right there. Okay, most all of these are just pulling into a dock a little bit too fast. Okay, you keep in mind you can never come into a dock too slow. You can always come in too fast. Idle speed is too fast. When you are approaching a dock, that's when you want to be kind of bumping it in and out of gear. I don't think this may be more of a stain right here. To me, none of that really feels like it's into the gel coat, but it is. Almost feels like a paint or a wax residue that's on there. Might be just a little stubborn to get off. A little scratch on your on this little stainless. insert right here coming across below your bow ladder. And here's another mark in that fiberglass right there. That's just a cobweb right there. And then coming down, you got another mark right here, right there as well. All right, then on this side we had a few areas like this where you kind of got a slight little mark in that gel coat. And then I'm gonna keep coming down here below the water line. A few little marks. I think we tried to photograph this. I'm not sure if this is going to show in the photos. Just a little bit of very light scratching right there on that V, and then a few more of that light scratching down here just below the water line. Really none of this really concerns me in these areas. Just some very light scratching. Now over here there was one that was just a little bit deeper. Okay, again, you got some more of these kind of lighter gel coat scratches, and you know, another one here. I believe I saw one of these that looked like it was a little bit deeper than the rest. See if I can't locate it here for you. I might not be that lucky. There's another little, again, very light scratch right there. Two more. I am not seeing one that looks any deeper than the others here. I may have lost track of where it was. And then again, this is where we got some of that wax residue that just didn't come all the way off. So some of that might look like a scratch, is not. Now this one here, this is a mark in the gel coat right here. Here's another good one right here. Lighter mark right in that area. This right here, I think, is another one of those fender marks in this area here and here. I think this, that might be a, no, I think all that's going to rub off. This one will not. That one's here to stay. This is kind of an area with some oxidation on it right here. Okay, and then we've got, I don't know if this is going to translate to the video either. We've got some very light dock rash in this area right here. Sometimes when it is this light is when you can get some good product on there and have it kind of buff out. Actually, it doesn't even look like any of that's showing up in the video. I'm gonna try to give it a, actually I think might be able to see it in just kind of the shadow of my hand that I'm holding up. Just very light in some of those areas right there. Okay, this is kind of back where we started. That's where you kind of got some of that oxidation right in there. Very light scratching here. Here's some more where some more of that little wax residue was left behind it, as well as up there. This one, that one here to stay. Very light scratching there, and then here's where we got a few more of these, and this one's down here in this accent stripe. Another one there. That one's a little deeper. Okay, so these, the ones we're trying to show you, the ones that are not going to be going anywhere, even after it's maybe waxed a little bit better. And then kind of some more of that here. Now we get back here near our Cobalt logo here. This is where we've got some of that oxidation. So I'm just kind of holding up my hand to give you a reflection, and maybe that finish will kind of show a little bit. It's again that kind of cloudy nature to it. That's just that oxidation. Now sometimes a really good professional detailer can get in here and get that to shine again, but usually it does not without a pro doing that. And one other little mark right over here. So that's just gonna about wrap things up for it. We got a little bit of oxidation in the white right here, and I think that will clean up probably a little bit more easily than some of this black corner right here. Got a sharp looking Cobalt logo on both sides. And I think this side of the platform was in pretty good shape as well. So here's your Cobalt emblem over here on this side. So again, that's going to start to wrap things up for this one today. Again, this is the 2014 Cobalt 24 SD. Again, the trailer is not included. We can arrange to have this delivered in our local area. If you're around Norris Lake or East Tennessee, that would be an option. We can also set you up with other transporters as well. If you just need this taken to your lake or your slip, that can all be arranged. If you do need a trailer, then you again feel free to reach out to us. We can put you in contact with some local dealers and get you a new trailer for it if needed. Again, don't hesitate to reach out for any questions. We do not monitor that YouTube comment page, so as usual, follow that direct link down in the video description. That's going to take you right to our listing page for this 2014 Cobalt 24 SD, where you're going to see all of the full list of specifications, features, options, all of our contact info, as well as the current asking price. And then as we start to conclude here, keep in mind there's going to be two things that kind of come up on your video screen. Top left hand corner is going to be a shortcut to our current listings. Top right hand corner is going to be a shortcut to subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, we're happy to have you as a subscriber. It's a great way to get notified anytime new inventory comes available. Thank you again for joining us today for the 2014 Cobalt 24 SD Bowrider for sale here on very near the beautiful freshwaters of Norris Lake, Tennessee. Thank you again for joining us.